Hi, and welcome to the Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Paul Steele. I'm the pastor at Bethlehem Church in Austin, Minnesota. The Bottom Line is our weekly summary of the previous Sunday's sermon. And if you've been following along with us, you know that we've been in a sermon series through the book of James entitled Living by Faith. Now, James is a letter found in the New Testament, written most likely by the half-brother of Jesus. And he is writing to Jewish Christians scattered around the Roman Empire. And this is what he wants them to know. He wants them to know that a disciple of Jesus lives each day by faith. A disciple of Jesus lives each day by faith. Now, how do we do that? Because that's certainly easier said than done. Well, that's what James really wants to communicate. He wants them to know, live by faith, and this is what it looks like. So we want to receive James's wisdom on what it looks like to live a life of faith. And what we discovered this past week, or the bottom line, is this: a disciple of Jesus does what God says. A disciple of Jesus does what God says. Well, what do we need to know about that? How do we go about doing what God says? Well, first of all, we have to receive the word. James chapter 1, verses 19 through 21, James emphasizes the fact that we are to have this teachable spirit, a spirit or an attitude that seeks to listen first and respond later. He says, be quick to listen, be slow to speak, and slow to be angry. So often we want to respond, but James is saying, no, be a listener. Listen to what's being said. And listen here implies this desire to hear with the intention of doing, to hear with the intention of doing. You're not just going to go through the motions. You're not just going to passively listen. No, you're listening with the intention of doing it, applying it to your life. So we need to receive the word if we're going to do it. But then we also have to practice the word. In James chapter 1, verses 22 through 25, James uses this illustration that a fool would go see himself in a mirror and then walk away and do nothing about it. No, a wise person, a person that does what God says, looks at the mirror and then makes the adjustment. And so James says, we are to study the perfect law. And who's the perfect law? Jesus is the perfect law. He came to fulfill the law. And so we study Jesus. We look at Jesus, and then we make those adjustments to our lives, right? We've talked about that we are to reflect God's character in this world. And so we look at Jesus, we study Jesus, and we make those adjustments so that we can reflect him into this world. So we need to receive the word, we need to practice the word, and then we need to live the word. James says we can't just claim to be a disciple of Jesus. No, we have to actually live it. And we do that through being mindful of what comes out of our mouth. So the words that we speak, they're words of life and encouragement, not of condemnation, not of gossip, not of deception. We help those who are vulnerable. We help those who are in need, and we live lives that are holy or set apart, that are different. And so a disciple of Jesus isn't someone who just claims to have faith. No, we do it through our words, through our actions, and through our lifestyle. So a disciple of Jesus does what God says. Right? That's the bottom line. A disciple of Jesus does what God says. And our challenge this week is to read James chapter 2, find one way to live out our faith. How can we live out our faith in this world? And then we do it. We put it into action. Thanks for watching. And if you've gotten anything out of our live stream, our sermon videos, our bottom line videos, the best way you can support what we're doing here in Austin is to give. So you can go to our website, BethlehemChurchAustin.com, find the Give tab, follow it. And thanks again. I hope to see you on Sunday. And have a wonderful rest of the week, and God bless.